welcome to Microsoft Excel tutorial. In this video, I am going to guide you how to design a student grading system using Microsoft Excel. It's going to be a simple system that we're going to design, and I'll also guide you on how to use the if function. Okay, we'll also get to know what values and labels are and what cells and columns and rows are in this video. So let's get started. So I'm just going to switch to my screen so that we can get started on that. All right, so this is our worksheet here. This is our worksheet, and we have boxes inside the worksheet. Now, these boxes are called cells. Each cell has a name given to it. Now, to identify the name, you only look inside the box at the top here called name box. This is where you get to see the name of the cell that you've clicked or the active cell. So an active cell means a cell that is ready for any input. Okay, so this cell, for instance, is A2. We use the columns and the rows to identify a cell. Now the columns are giving alphabets, whereas the rows are giving numbers. So you combine a column letter and a row number to get the name of a cell. So where they intersect, that is where we call a cell. So if I click this, this will be B3 because D and 3 intersects here. So we call it B3. So as you can see the name over there. Okay, right. Now this box here is called a formula bar. This is where you can edit whatever you are typing in here. It is a box where you can type your formula in for a particular cell. But you have to select your cell, then you go over there and type whatever data you want to input in it. All right, so let's get started. I am going to start inputting my labels. The labels are just the names that we give to each cell so that it will help us identify whatever data we are inputting within that column or row. Okay, so if I want to put some items down here, I have to put something here that will tell me what these items stand for. So that's labels. Now values are simply the numbers that we are going to put inside, the numbers that we're going to use for calculation. All right, so I'm going to put some labels here. So I'll call the first one names, the second one class call. Now watch this. As I type, it goes into the other cell, it exits into the other cell. So to do that, you only put your mouse pointer up here, double click to open it. The other way to do it is just put it and get this cross there, click and drag to open it. So the next one is exam score. So you can do this, drag to open it, or you can double click to open it. Then we have total score, same here. Then we have grade and we have Remax. All right, so I'm just going to bolden this, so I'll highlight all this. So when you highlight a series of cells, we call it range of cells. So just to bolden it, to make it a bit different from the other labels and data that we are going to input into the system. All right, so you can just highlight it and then you click at the bold so that it can bolden it for you. So that being done, we go in to put some data. So I'm just going to put some sample names of students. So just say John, Doe, Jane, Nana, okay, so Eric, okay, Ibrahim. So these names are okay for me. Then I'll give them a grade. Okay. So the class call. So I'm going to edit here. I'm just going to add something to this. So I'll click there, move to the top, and that's where I can edit it. I want this to be a total of 40 out of 40. So let me just increase this space. The exam 2 should be 60. So just put here so that if I add 40 to 60, I'm getting hundreds. All right, so I'm just putting that over there just to see, so that when you are reading this, you get to know, okay, so this here, whatever is here, it has to be out of 40, exactly 40, or what could be below 40, here to 60. So the total score you can also put there, that is 100, so that whoever is reading your system will get to understand the reason why you have the 140, these values inside it. So I'll just start giving some scores here. Just put some values so that I can get to set this of this. Let me just make this 55. All right, so having done this, I can highlight all of these and then align it to the center, same to this, align it to center so that I can see the values very well. Now we're going to add the total. So to add a total, I'm not just going to do it direct by saying 25 plus 36 and then put the feature there. I'm going to let Excel do that calculation for me. Now, anytime you want to calculate or you put a formula or a function, you have to put the equal sign in the active cell where you want your result to appear. So I'm going to put my equal sign. Now I'm going to add the first row so that this one, the result will be in this, and then we'll do similar to these ones too. So I'll click on the first cell, then put the plus sign, then click on the second one again. So I've created a formula. This is an example of a formula. So it means B2, that is cell B2, whatever is inside cell B2, plus whatever is inside cell C2. And that will give me the answer in D2. So I'll do that and press enter. Now this is our answer 61. We can do same thing. I'll repeat it again. Now I'm going to do for this row. So I'll put my equal sign first, click on the first cell, put my plus sign, click on the second cell and press enter. Okay, now that is the one way of doing that. Okay, now to make it very simple, suppose you have about 1,000 students, it means that you have to go on doing that calculation for each and every student. But Excel has a feature that it can do the auto calculate for you. So to do the auto calculate, the moment you are able to do one part, one particular cell, since we've calculated this one, all that I have to do is to put my mouse pointer inside this box that you can see there, this black box. I'll put my mouse pointer to get a small cross like this. Then I'll click and drag to apply to the rest. Then it will calculate for it. Let me just center this. So as you can see, so the moment you input a new student, it will automatically, what do you call it, give that person the results. So, see? So no need, so anytime you input a new student, it will automatically calculate it for you. No need to, do it manually for each and every student that you add. All right, the next thing that we are going to do is the grid. Now this is where we input the if function. Now the if function goes with what they call two statements. It is either the condition is true or false. Okay, and it will be true based on whatever value you assign it to. So it will check the value that you assign it to do. If that value is true, it will provide the result that you want it to give you. But if it is false, you will get a different result. Okay, so we are going to start with that. Like I said, anytime you are going to input a function or a formula, you need to input the equal sign first. So I'm going to put a function, so I'll put my equal sign. Then I will type my if. Now, the moment you type it, it will give you, prompt you here. You can just double click this and it will open a bracket for you. If you want, you can input the bracket on your own. Now we are going to use this cell, the total score. So whatever a person gets here, then we'll give the score here. So suppose you have 90 to 100, we can give you grade A. If you have 70 to 80, we can give you grade B. If you have 60 to 69, we can give you grade C. And then if you have 50 to 59, we can give you grade D. Then if you have 40 to 49, we can give you E. And then the rest will give F. So I'm just going to do it very simple as that. Okay, so I'll start here. And this is what we start with. Usually we start with a particular cell and then you now apply to the rest. So we are using this cell DT, the total here, to do that. So you'll be seeing this cell D2 in this function as we go on. So I'll type D2. So if whatever is there is greater than or equal to 90, so that's the first one. So it means that it starts from 90 to 100. Now this is a value, so I'm not going to put anything around the value since Excel understands that it is a value. But if I'm going to put something like a string or a label, a string here, I'm going to put the code marks and put whatever I want to be there. So if the person gets 90 to 100, give the person A, then I'll put a comma. Now I'm done with the first, what you call a logical test, then I'll give a space, just one space, and start another if. The same D2. Now this time around, greater than or equals to 70. So here from 70 to 89, that is what we're talking about. Okay, so that is how I want to grade it. So I'll give it B. You might want to start from 80 to 89. That is okay. We're just using this for the purpose of this system in this tutorial. Then I'm done with the second one, then I'll give space. Then another if, then double click. Then D2 is greater than or equal to, this time 60. And this, I'll give C. A comma and give a space. If again, D2 is greater than or equal to, this one should be 50. So 50 to 59, that is what this means. And that will be D. Give a comma and another space. If D2 is greater than or equal to, this one will be 40. Okay, then that will be E. Now, the rest from 0 to 39, if you get that, you will get F. So since that is the last part of the grade, I will not repeat the if. I'll only give out the value to be displayed. So I'll just go on and put F. That's the last part. So Excel will understand, okay, so below 40 is this. So since that's the last one. Now, the last thing that we're going to look at is these brackets that we've opened, we have to count them to see how many we open so that we close them. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to close with 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So after that, you press enter. But before that, I want you to take a look at the function again so that if you want to write them down. All right, so that is okay. Now let's press enter. Now this person scored 61. So it means 60 to 70 is C. So the person takes C. Let me align it to the center. Now, like I said, we can do the same thing here, but that will be a waste of time. So like I said, if you're able to do one part, you only put your mouse pointer here, drag it to apply to the rest. And here are your grades. So the moment we now input a new student, okay, and then give it a grade. I want this grade to be F so that we can see it. See? So the moment I input it, the total is automatically calculated, and then the grade is also automatically calculated. All right, now the next one that we are going to look at is the Remax. And the Remax, we are also going to use the if function as well. Okay, so like I said, you put the equal sign. Now we can use the total score for the Remax, or we can use the grade for the Remax. So I'm going to use the grade for the Remax, okay, so that we will see the difference, so that we see how we did this function and this one too. It is the same thing. If you use this, you can get the same result. If you use it, you can get the same result. But since I've used a number here to get these strings here, this time I'm going to use a string to get a string. So let's start. If D2, now this one is just direct, equal A. So the A is a string, so instead I will not put it like that, I will quote it A, then comma, then quote whatever remarks I'm giving. So I'll say excellent, comma. Then I'm done with the first one. So the difference is the first one we use a value here, so that is why we didn't put it in the quote marks here. So if it's just a number or a value as we know in Excel, and there shouldn't be quote marks here. But if you put this, Excel will understand that it is a string. Okay, remember whatever comes here is always a string, or sometimes it can be a number, depending on whatever you want to put in there. So we are using string to get string. The first one we use what? Values to get string. Now let's go to the next one. If, sorry, this is not D2. We are using this, so it's E2. Let me just correct that. E2. We are using this, which is E2. So if E2 is equal to, now if a person gets B, our remarks is very good, comma, and space. Then if E2 equal C, sorry, C, this will be good, comma. Then if E2 equal, so CD, I'll say average, and space. Then if E2 equal, so this is E, so yeah, this will be E. So this one, we call it below average. And then, so since this is also the last one, so we have the A, the B, the C, the D, and the E. Now the last is the F. So we don't need to start the if, just like we did here. When we got to the last one, we didn't start with the if. So I'll just give this one F. So Excel will understand that any other thing goes for F. Now let's count the brackets again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to always count it to be sure. It is not always that you have to get 5. So it can be less or more, depending on the kind of remarks you want to input there. So this one is C, so therefore we get good. Let me center it and apply to the rest. So let me open this. So as you can see, sorry, this one, let's get back to it to look at something here. So I'm going to edit it. It's not F. I should put F there. Let's go. Let's edit that over here. So I've clicked on the first one. Just click. Instead of saying fail, I wrote F. Fail. So F for fail. Okay. So then press enter. So it comes in now. Let me apply it again. So it's to be fail, not F. Okay. All right. So that is it. So any other letter goes for fail. So folks, This is how to design a simple student grading system. So at this moment, any student you add, provided you give the class score and the exam score, it will tabulate and give that person the grade, the total score, the grade, and the remarks. So we are adding another one. Yeah, so very good. So that is how it goes. You don't need to do the calculation on your own. All right, so that will do for this video. If you want to support this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and hit the like button. Bye for now.